everybody, it's Danny from Posh Guitar Player. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to look at Sabrina Carpenter's huge global hit, Espresso. This song went viral with over 2.5 billion streams. Incredible. It's also, like a lot of great pop songs, very simple harmonically, only 3 chords, which reminded me of that expression, 3 chords and the truth. And then I realized I didn't really know where the term came from. I remember it being associated with Bob Dylan's writing and the punk rock movement. They love to say 3 chords and the truth. So I did a little research and found out it's attributed to a country songwriter by the name of Harland Howard. He has hundreds of country hits, and he's the one who coined that phrase. And if you think about it, it's true. Some of your favorite songs are likely songs that were 3 chords and the truth. When you learned how to play guitar, you probably started with simple chords like the ones in this song. And then later you probably learned some single note lead guitar style playing. But what happens is we don't often think about playing single notes with chords together. And this impression comes up that you're either a rhythm guitar player or you're a lead guitar player. For me, the best guitarists have always been a combination of great rhythm and great lead. For me, they shouldn't be separated. These are things that you can combine together, and that's a lot of what we try to do on the channel. Interestingly, when you think of a piano player and how they learned to play, from the very first day they were incorporating rhythm and melody and harmony within their playing simultaneously. But as a guitar player, we often think of those as 2 siloed things. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine those together into this. What we want to do on this channel is find ways to take songs and play the chords and make it sound like the song, but also add some elements of different rhythms, different melodic textures, maybe from different parts of the song, like a keyboard or a background vocal. Add that into the playing, so when you play it, it doesn't just sound like you're strumming chords, but it sounds like the actual song. So let's try that with Espresso. Let's dig right in. Espresso has 3 chords throughout the whole thing. Let's start with the simple basic versions of those. A D minor, an E minor, and an A minor. You could just play those simple 3 chords throughout the entirety of the song and sing over it, and it would in fact sound like the song. But what we're wanting to do is add elements within those chords. You hear those elements that make it feel like Espresso. And a lot of what those things are is the advanced chords that they're playing. They're playing 7 chords instead of like standard minor and major chords. So let's learn those. For the D minor, we're going to turn it into a D7 sus2. Voiced like this. We're going to take our E minor and make it an E minor 7. Voiced like this. You can see there. And the A minor 7 like this. Next, we want to find a way to incorporate that beautiful synth line. It's at the intro of the song, it plays in the choruses. It's really not played on a guitar. If you listen to what the guitars are doing in this song, listen to the arrangement, they're electric guitars and they're playing really nice parts that are extremely intentional, and they're meant to fit in that whole tapestry of pop production. If you're playing in a full band, that's the type of part that you're going to want to play. What we try to do on this channel is find ways that you can play the entire song on one instrument. So for us, there's that really nice synthesizer line, and we're going to find a way to play that on acoustic. The line that we're referring to is this one, the that's the line. What we're going to do is embed that melodic shape within the chords that we just learned. So the first chord we had was the D7 sus2. The first chord of the melody that we're playing, the first note of the melody, is this A, and then we go to the G and to this D. So to add the chords, you play the D7 sus2, and you don't have to play the whole thing. Really, all you need to play is the 4th and 3rd strings, sort of like a power chord. And then you reach up, hit this note, then you hold the E minor 7 shape and strum. Part of what makes this sound so beautiful is that you're strumming through the chord and then you land with that melodic note D, which is on the second string. So far we have this. We have an individual single note, strum to the D. Now we're going to add the next part, which is built off of the A minor 7 chord. You strum to the B string here. One of the things that makes it so nice is when you have the notes ring out. So what we're going to do is we're going to play from here, and all the notes are ringing. Allow that to just develop this way. So what we have is finish with this, back to the E minor, and just let that hold. The second time it goes through, it adds a high E on there. So instead of stopping on this A, you go all the way through. You go. Isn't that beautiful? Right after this, I've got a couple of videos that will allow you to rehearse that part at a slower tempo and a sped up tempo. Check those out, and I'll meet you just right on the other side of the videos. Now we're going to get into the verse section. The verse section is going to be the same chords, the D minor, the E minor 7, and the A minor 7, but we're going to play it higher up on the neck. We're going to play bar chord shapes of these. So for the D minor, we'll do it here. E minor 7 here. It's nice to get the low E in them with that chord. And then we're going to play our A minor 7 here. With this, what you're going to do is you're going to be adding some funky rhythms to this. There's a lot of things in music where it's hard to look at music and take it from the tablature and the written notes and turn it into something that feels like music. I distinctly remember trying to learn things and trying to just make it happen instead of letting it happen. So with these kinds of rhythms, the trick is your right hand. Keep this right hand very fluid, just up and down like this. Hold these chords and just squeeze down where you want the sound to come out, all the while keeping your right hand kind of moving. After you've worked on this a little bit, this becomes second nature, and you just start to feel the rhythms, and you're not thinking about them, you're just feeling them. The part that we're going to play for this song is this. We're going to add this hammer-on shape. You put the full bar on and hammer on the second and third fingers here. Then you do the same thing up here and here. The trick to making this really snappy is very short stabs, short as you can. That is what funk music is. Very tight, snappy rhythms like this. Short. Okay. In the song, that synthesizer line comes in and it's sort of all by itself. It's a really featured moment, but it is not a guitar line. So as always with this channel, we want to grab those pieces that make it sound like the song and put them onto guitar. The line is this. Okay, it's on the 4th fret. You walk it up. Then there's this hammer-on pull-off here, landing on this note. As you guys know, you can play notes at different spots on the neck. You could also play it down here. If you're playing open chords and you're not choosing to go to these bar chords, you may enjoy playing that line here. For me, when I'm playing it, I always play it here because it allows me to quickly get back into those bar chords, like so. You're going. This is a fun section. You do a D minor 7 and a slide off, then hold the strings so they are not holding any notes, and you just get a percussive element and just play some rhythm. Same thing on the E minor 7. Couple stabs on that A minor 7. Together you have for the end section of the verse. I've developed this part. It's not something that's on the actual recording, but it's worked really nicely when I play it with my duo. Is the idea of having these octaves of the D and having a lot of intention and intensity build up that leads into the chorus. Here are the notes that we're doing. Open D string, a D on the 3rd string, the 7th fret, and then another octave D all the way up here on the 10th fret. Also, I allow the open B string to be part of that chord. It's a little dissonant when you hear it here, but when you're playing with a lot of energy, it actually adds a lot of static kind of tension that then gets resolved into the chorus. Let me play that part for you. So we go from here. Here we go. Build it, back to the chorus. Okay. The other thing you can add, and this is like layers of a cake, you can decide how much of this you want to add to your playing. When you add all the different layers, it sounds amazing, but you can also work up to that. You don't have to add all these layers at the same time. The last layer that we'd like to recommend is this idea of a subtle hit on 2 and 4. It's a percussive element where you're kind of hitting the guitar. You don't have to slam the guitar really hard. It just needs to be that feeling that something is happening on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is where a drummer 1, 2, 3, 4 would hit the snare. So you play that along with the chords, like so. The concept of incorporating these little melodies with your chord and strumming is something that takes a little bit of getting used to. Be patient with yourself as you do it. Soon your right hand will get really, really accurate and will be able to pull out these little melodies. In the beginning, it's very easy to miss or overstrum. That's all part of the learning process. But it is these little additions of these melodic elements which makes it sound so cool, so exciting, and when you play it, other people will recognize it as, oh, that's Espresso. That's it, guys. That's the entire song. Take these 3 chords, the different shapes we've talked about, the different sections and the different ways to play them, string them all together, and turn it into something that's really special that you can play and share with your friends and for performances. If you're interested, I've included a link below of my duo called Posh Polloi performing the song with this arrangement, with a vocalist. That could help to play along with that to get a sense of how you'd like to do it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm Danny from Posh Guitar Player. Put a little posh in your playing. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.